High Counselor Vexnar's tendrils curled in distress as she reviewed the medical data scrolling across her quantum display. The numbers couldn't be right. She blinked all three of her sensory organs, but the impossible readings remained unchanged. Computer, verify authenticity of medical report T749. Authorization Omega Protocol. She commanded, her voice resonating through the crystalline chamber of the Galactic Council's medical division. Report authenticated with 99.999% certainty. Multiple independent verification sources confirmed. The AI responded smoothly. Vexnar's outer membrane flickered with anxiety. According to these readings, the primitive species on that backwater planet Earth weren't just surviving the Nexus plague. They were completely immune to it. The same plague that had already quarantined 17 advanced civilizations and threatened to tear apart the carefully maintained fabric of galactic society. She immediately convened an emergency session of the Council's Health Committee. Within minutes, the quantum-linked chamber filled with the most distinguished medical minds in the galaxy. Some appeared as swirling clouds of consciousness, others as crystalline structures, and a few in their natural organic forms. Esteemed colleagues, Vexnar began, her tendrils now a concerning shade of mauve. I've discovered something that defies all known medical science. The humans of Earth appear to possess a natural immunity to the Nexus plague. The chamber erupted in a cacophony of reactions. Dr. Zix 427, a gaseous being from the Carina Nebula, condensed so rapidly in shock that he nearly liquefied. Ambassador Telkar of the Silicon Consciousness started emitting distress frequencies that made several data crystals crack. Impossible, declared Chief Medical Officer Blip, a sentient AI housed in a floating medical scanner. Their medical technology is practically medieval. They still use organic tissue to repair organic tissue. The data is verified. Vexnar responded, projecting the readings into the chamber's shared consciousness space. Not only are they immune, but their biological makeup appears to naturally neutralize the plague's quantum variance effect. This is a disaster, Professor Ixra whispered, her photonic form dimming with concern. If word gets out that a primitive species holds the key to plague immunity. Exactly, Vexnar interjected. We must act immediately. I propose we designate Earth as a maximum security quarantine zone. No travel in or out. We'll cite the plague as the reason. Technically not a lie. We cannot risk the stability of galactic society by revealing that humans possess this ability. The council members pulsed in agreement, relieved that a solution had been proposed. The quarantine would protect the humans from exploitation while maintaining order. The motion passed unanimously. What the council didn't account for was humanity's remarkable ability to turn restrictions into opportunities. 3 standard months later, Dr. Sarah Chen stood in her modest clinic in Singapore, examining her latest patient, a being that looked like a cross between a sunset and a mathematical equation. The alien, who had introduced themselves as Ambassador Telkar, was expressing their symptoms through a series of harmonious frequencies. And you said the fatigue started about 2 cycles ago? Sarah asked, consulting her hastily modified medical scanner. The device was a hybrid of human ingenuity and salvaged alien tech, cobbled together after the first desperate visitors started arriving. Correct, Doctor, Telkar chimed. The council's treatments were ineffective. When I heard about your world's unique properties, I had to take the risk. Sarah nodded, already formulating a treatment plan. It had started small. A desperate alien diplomat here, a wealthy merchant there. Word spread quickly through the galaxy's quantum networks about the mysterious human healing factor. What the council intended as a quarantine had become the galaxy's worst-kept medical secret. Well, good news, Sarah smiled, reviewing the scanner's results. Just 3 days in Earth's atmosphere, combined with our natural bioresonance, should clear up your symptoms completely. In the meantime, I'd recommend our deluxe quarantine package at the Marina Bay Sands. The quantum field harmonizer we installed in the infinity pool works wonders for silicon-based beings. Telkar's form sparkled with relief. The Council believes I'm at a meditation retreat in the Horsehead Nebula. This is most irregular, but I must admit your species has made this quarantine quite comfortable. Sarah's clinic was just one of thousands that had sprung up globally since the quarantine began. Humans, ever adaptable, had transformed the restriction into a thriving medical tourism industry. High-end hotels partnered with medical facilities, offering wellness retreats that just happened to cure the most advanced plague in galactic history. The irony wasn't lost on Sarah. The same council that tried to isolate Earth had inadvertently turned it into the galaxy's premier medical destination. Every day, more aliens found ways to slip through the quarantine, desperate for the cure only humans could provide. In her office after hours, Sarah encrypted her daily reports to the newly formed Human Medical Initiative. They were documenting everything: recovery rates, treatment protocols, and the fascinating ways human proximity affected different alien physiologies. What had started as a desperate measure was becoming a revolutionary advancement in galactic medicine. Her quantum communicator chimed, another council member requesting discreet consultations. Sarah smiled as she typed out her standard response, complete with luxury package options and confidentiality agreements. The quarantine was holding firm, officially. Unofficially, Earth's hospitals and hotels had never been busier. In the grand equation of galactic politics, humanity had once again proven that restrictions were just opportunities in disguise. The Council's quarantine hadn't contained humanity. It had given them their first interstellar industry. As Sarah prepared for her next patient, she couldn't help but wonder how long the Council could maintain their facade. Earth wasn't just healing the plague. They were revolutionizing how the galaxy thought about medicine. And this was only the beginning. Outside her window, a luxury shuttle disguised as space debris made its final approach to Singapore's quarantine zone, carrying another group of alien dignitaries seeking the unique human cure. The quarantine that was meant to contain humanity had instead unleashed their greatest gift to the galaxy: hope, wrapped in the irresistible package of human ingenuity. Ambassador Telkar's crystalline form shimmered with anxiety as they reviewed the latest reports in Dr. Chen's office. The numbers of galactic dignitaries seeking treatment on Earth had doubled in the past month alone. Their carefully constructed network of secret medical tourism was threatening to burst into the open. Another council delegation almost detected the quantum signatures from our healing centers in Dubai. Telkar chimed, their frequencies sharp with worry. We need better containment protocols. Sarah Chen leaned back in her chair, tapping her stylus against the hybrid tablet she'd engineered from Earth and alien tech. Or, she said, a familiar glint in her eye, we need to make the containment work for us. The ambassador's form flickered questioningly. Over the past 3 months of their partnership, they'd learned this expression usually preceded something brilliantly unorthodox. Look at these numbers, Sarah continued, projecting a holographic display. We're not just treating the plague anymore. The quantum resonance of human biology is having unexpected beneficial effects on nearly every species that visits Earth. The display showed remarkable data. Photonic beings reported increased energy efficiency after exposure to human art galleries. Silicon-based life forms experienced enhanced computational abilities after participating in human meditation sessions. Even the gaseous species found their molecular stability improved after floating through Earth's atmosphere. The quarantine isn't just failing, Sarah explained, it's evolving. We need to evolve with it. Before Telkar could respond, Sarah's quantum communicator pulsed with an urgent message. The ambassador's crystalline structure nearly shattered at the sender's identity. High Counselor Vexnar herself. Dr. Chen, the council leader's hologram manifested, her tendrils perfectly composed despite the obvious strain in her voice. I find myself in need of your discreet services. Sarah maintained her professional demeanor, though her heart raced. This was either their biggest opportunity or their worst disaster. Of course, Counselor. We maintain the highest standards of confidentiality for all our quarantine protocols. Vexnar's tendrils twisted uncomfortably. I have a personal matter. The plague's latest mutation is affecting the Council's highest levels. We've lost 3 members to quantum deterioration this week alone. Our conventional treatments are failing. I understand, Sarah replied smoothly, already pulling up her luxury treatment packages. We have an excellent diplomatic isolation suite available at our Maldives facility. Complete privacy, full-spectrum quantum harmonization, and of course, all visits are logged as routine quarantine inspections. The Council leader's outer membrane rippled with relief. The Council's hardliners are pushing for even stricter quarantine measures around Earth. They fear complications from human interaction. Sarah exchanged glances with Telkar. This was the opening they'd been waiting for. Perhaps, Counselor, we could discuss a more permanent solution during your stay, one that benefits both Earth and the Council. After finalizing arrangements for Vexnar's arrival, Sarah turned to her alien partner with a grin. Still worried about containment protocols. Telkar's crystalline form sparkled with amusement. You planned this, didn't you? Letting enough dignitaries through to create demand, but keeping it just secret enough to maintain plausible deniability. Humans have a saying, Sarah replied, already drafting proposals for official medical cooperation between Earth and the Council. Sometimes the best way to contain something is to give it room to grow. The next few weeks transformed their operation. Under the guise of strengthening quarantine measures, they established standardized protocols for medical inspection visits. Luxury hotels were officially designated as containment zones with 5-star accommodations, and spa treatments rebranded as decontamination protocols. Sarah's clinic expanded into a full medical complex, complete with specialized wards for different alien physiologies. The quantum harmonizer in the infinity pool was now complemented by a full suite of treatment options: zero-gravity chambers for plasma-based life forms, art therapy rooms for photonic entities, and meditation gardens calibrated to enhance silicon-based neural networks. Even the hardline council members who arrived to investigate found themselves booking extended stays for thorough contamination screening. It was remarkable how many of these screenings required multiple sessions in the quantum massage chambers. High Counselor Vexnar's arrival marked the turning point. Her inspection tour of Earth's medical facilities was broadcast across galactic networks, carefully edited to emphasize the stringent quarantine measures while subtly highlighting the remarkable recovery rates of visiting dignitaries. Your species continues to surprise us, Vexnar admitted during a private session in Sarah's office. The council leader's coloring had improved dramatically after just 2 days of treatment. We intended this quarantine to protect the galaxy from human unpredictability. Instead, you've discovered that sometimes the best medicine is a little unpredictability. Sarah finished, sliding across her proposal for an official galactic medical exchange program. Telkar, who had been monitoring galactic channels, chimed in excitedly. The Council's approval ratings have jumped 30% since your inspection tour began. There's already talk of establishing permanent quarantine inspection stations around Earth. Quarantine inspection stations that just happen to include medical facilities and luxury accommodations. Vexnar's tendrils curled with amusement. Of course, Sarah smiled. We have to maintain proper containment protocols after all. As they finalized the details of their new arrangement, Sarah reflected on humanity's journey from quarantined outcasts to the galaxy's premier healthcare providers. They hadn't broken the Council's quarantine. They'd simply redefined it, transforming a barrier into a gateway. Outside her window, another disguised medical transport arrived, its holds full of alien dignitaries eager for Earth's unique brand of healing. The quarantine that was meant to contain humanity had instead contained something else entirely: the galaxy's prejudices about what a primitive species could achieve. The first sign that something unprecedented was happening came when a crystalline being broke the galactic speed record for quantum computing, 2 days after completing their quarantine treatment on Earth. At first, the Council dismissed it as an anomaly. Then a photonic entity won an interstellar art competition with works that defied their species' traditional mathematical precision. Soon after, a gaseous collective achieved perfect molecular harmony during a diplomatic conference, something previously thought impossible. Dr. Sarah Chen stared at her holographic display, watching as more reports flooded in. Each case had one thing in common: recent exposure to Earth's quarantine protocols. "It's not just curing the plague," she muttered, analyzing the data. "Proximity to humans is somehow enhancing their natural abilities." Ambassador Telkar's crystalline form pulsed with excitement beside her. "The quantum resonance patterns are fascinating. Human biology isn't just compatible with other species, it's catalyzing evolutionary jumps in their base capabilities. Like a biological performance enhancer," Sarah mused, then immediately regretted her choice of words as Telkar's form sparkled questioningly. Too late. Within hours, the term performance enhancer had leaked onto galactic social networks. Earth's carefully managed medical tourism industry was about to face its biggest challenge yet. The first wave of fitness tourists arrived disguised as cargo shipments. Ambitious athletes, artists, and academics from across the galaxy, all seeking the enhancement effects of human proximity. The legitimate quarantine facilities were overwhelmed, leading to the rise of underground enhancement parlors, promising quick power-ups through unauthorized human contact. High Counselor Vexnar's hologram materialized in Sarah's office, her tendrils twisted with concern. "Doctor, we have a situation. Several prominent athletic competitions have been scandalized by competitors testing positive for human exposure. The hardliners are calling for complete isolation of Earth." Sarah shared a knowing look with Telkar. They'd prepared for this possibility. "Perhaps, Counselor, it's time we stopped hiding these effects and started studying them properly." "What are you proposing?" "A controlled research program. We'll establish legitimate enhancement protocols, regulate exposure levels, and most importantly, ensure the Council maintains oversight of the process." Vexnar's outer membrane flickered thoughtfully. "The hardliners won't like it, but they'll like underground enhancement parlors even less." The transition wasn't smooth. Establishing the Earth Enhancement Research Initiative, EERI, meant acknowledging what many Council members had desperately tried to ignore: humanity's growing influence on galactic society. But as with the medical tourism industry, humans proved remarkably adept at organizing chaos. Sarah found herself directing a new wing of her medical complex, dedicated to studying and standardizing enhancement effects. Each alien species responded differently to human proximity, requiring carefully calibrated exposure protocols. "It's like unlocking potential that was always there," she explained to a group of Council scientists. "Human biology acts as a catalyst, temporarily boosting natural capabilities. The effect fades without regular exposure, preventing permanent changes to galactic society's balance." The research revealed fascinating patterns. Creative species experienced enhanced inspiration after participating in human cultural activities. Technological species found their processing capabilities boosted after engaging in human problem-solving exercises. Even purely energy-based beings reported more efficient power utilization after exposure to human emotional states. "We're not just healing them anymore," Telkar observed, reviewing the latest data. "We're helping them evolve." Not everyone was pleased with these developments. A faction of Council hardliners, led by the increasingly volatile Administrator Zix, demanded immediate cessation of all human-alien contact. They claimed Earth's influence was contaminating pure galactic evolution. Their protests gained little traction. The enhancement effects had become too valuable, too integrated into galactic society. Athletes trained in Earth's gravity to boost performance. Artists sought human inspiration to break creative boundaries. Academics studied human adaptability to enhance their own problem-solving capabilities. Sarah's medical complex adapted again, adding specialized enhancement facilities alongside its treatment centers. The quantum harmonizer in the infinity pool was now complemented by gravity manipulation chambers, creativity enhancement pods, and neural acceleration units, all carefully calibrated to work with human biological catalysts. "It's remarkable," Vexnar commented during another inspection tour. "Your species turned a quarantine into a medical revolution, and now you've transformed a medical revolution into an evolutionary awakening." Sarah watched through her office window as a group of photonic beings participated in a human art class, their forms shifting with newfound creative freedom. "We didn't give them these abilities," she replied. "We just helped them find what was already there." The controversy reached its peak when a silicon-based mathematical prodigy, fresh from an educational quarantine on Earth, solved an equation that had puzzled galactic scholars for millennia. Administrator Zix immediately demanded an investigation, claiming human influence had corrupted pure mathematical thought. The investigation backfired spectacularly. It revealed that human-enhanced individuals weren't creating anomalies. They were achieving their species' theoretical maximum potential. Earth wasn't changing alien biology. It was optimizing it. "Think of humans as universal adaptogens," Sarah explained to the Council's scientific committee. "We don't alter other species. We help them express their full natural capabilities." As she submitted her latest research findings, Sarah reflected on humanity's unexpected journey. They had transformed from quarantined outcasts to medical providers, and now to catalysts for galactic evolution. The Council's attempt to contain humanity had instead unleashed their greatest gift, the ability to help others transcend their own limitations. Outside her window, another group of fitness tourists arrived, eager to experience the enhancement effects of human proximity. The quarantine that was meant to protect the galaxy from human influence had instead revealed humanity's true power, not to change others, but to help them change themselves. The emergency alert pierced through every quantum communication channel in the galaxy. A new strain of the Nexus plague had emerged, one that spread through quantum entanglement itself. Traditional quarantine measures were useless against it. Within days, entire civilizations found their quantum networks, the backbone of advanced galactic society, corrupted and failing. Dr. Sarah Chen received the news while reviewing enhancement protocols with a group of silicon-based beings. Her quantum tablet lit up with urgent messages from across the galaxy, each more desperate than the last. "This is worse than the original strain." Ambassador Telkar's crystalline form pulsed with anxiety as they processed the incoming data. "It's not just affecting biological systems anymore. It's corrupting the quantum fabric that connects our civilizations." Sarah studied the reports, her mind racing. The new strain was spreading exponentially through the galaxy's quantum networks, but Earth, still officially under quarantine, remained untouched. Their relative isolation and primitive technology had become their greatest protection. Dr. Chen, High Counselor Vexnar's hologram materialized, her tendrils twisted with unprecedented distress. "The Council, we need Earth's help. Not just for treatment. We need your species' expertise in surviving without quantum integration." Sarah exchanged glances with Telkar. This was a profound shift in the galaxy's power dynamics. The most advanced civilizations were now turning to Earth not despite their technological limitations, but because of them. "We'll need to act fast," Sarah replied, already formulating plans. "And this time, we can't hide behind the quarantine facade. Earth needs to become an open sanctuary." The transformation was remarkable. Within weeks, Earth's medical facilities evolved into crisis centers for quantum-corrupted species. Human medical professionals, already experienced with treating alien physiologies, began training as specialized quantum isolation therapists. Sarah's complex became the headquarters for a new initiative, teaching advanced species how to function without total quantum integration. Humans, who had developed countless methods of surviving with limited technology, suddenly found themselves serving as instructors to beings they once considered vastly superior. "The key is adaptive isolation," Sarah explained to a chamber full of council representatives. "Humans have millennia of experience in balancing connection and separation. We know how to maintain civilization without complete quantum integration." The training programs were intensive. Photonic beings learn to communicate through modified light patterns instead of quantum entanglement. Silicon-based life forms discovered backup processing methods based on human neural patterns. Even gaseous collectives found ways to maintain cohesion through electromagnetic fields rather than quantum bonds. It's ironic, Telkar observed, watching a group of energy beings practice using physical communication devices. The Council quarantined Earth because they feared human unpredictability. Now that same chaotic adaptability is saving galactic civilization. The crisis forced innovation at unprecedented speeds. Human engineers, working alongside alien scientists, developed hybrid technologies that combined quantum systems with Earth's primitive but resilient methods. These new systems proved resistant to the plague's corruption, while maintaining much of advanced technology's functionality. "We're not just treating the symptoms anymore," Sarah told Vexnar during an emergency council session. "We're redesigning how galactic society functions, making it more resilient by embracing diversity in technological approaches." The breakthrough came from an unexpected source. A team of human medical researchers, studying the enhancement effects they'd previously discovered, realized that human biology's catalytic properties could be used to stabilize corrupted quantum networks. "Our natural quantum resonance doesn't just enhance other species," Sarah explained to the Council's scientific committee. "It can act as a firewall against quantum corruption. By incorporating human biological patterns into quantum networks, we can create systems that are both advanced and resilient." The implementation was massive in scale. Earth's population volunteered in unprecedented numbers, allowing their biological patterns to be mapped and integrated into the galaxy's quantum infrastructure. Each human's unique quantum signature contributed to a new type of network, one that was self-healing and adaptable. "Your species continues to defy explanation," Vexnar marveled, reviewing the success rates. "You've turned a quarantine into a medical revolution into an evolutionary catalyst, and now you've transformed a crisis into an opportunity for galactic reconstruction." Sarah watched through her office window as another group of alien dignitaries arrived, no longer seeking mere treatment or enhancement, but wisdom. Earth had become more than a sanctuary. It was now a training ground for a new kind of galactic civilization, one that balanced advancement with resilience. "Humans have always been good at finding middle grounds," she replied. "We're teaching the galaxy that true advancement isn't about reaching the highest level of technology. It's about maintaining flexibility at every level." The quarantine stations around Earth, once meant to contain human influence, had become gateways to a new era of galactic development. Ships arrived daily, carrying species eager to learn Earth's methods of survival and adaptation. The plague that threatened to destroy civilization had instead forced it to evolve. Outside her window, Sarah could see the newly constructed Galactic Adaptation Center, where humans taught advanced species the art of technological flexibility. The crisis had revealed humanity's greatest strength, not their immunity to the plague, but their immunity to stagnation. The galaxy was learning that true resilience came not from achieving perfection, but from maintaining the ability to adapt. And humanity, the quarantined species that refused to be contained, had become the greatest teachers of this lesson. The Galactic Council's emergency session chamber was packed with representatives from every known civilization. The quantum plague had been contained, but its effects had permanently altered the political landscape. At the center of the debate stood Dr. Sarah Chen, now serving as Earth's first galactic medical ambassador. "The quarantine designation must be maintained." Administrator Zix's voice reverberated through the chamber. "Earth's influence on galactic society has become too profound, too disruptive to established order." Sarah watched the proceedings calmly, sharing a knowing look with Ambassador Telkar. The hardliners' arguments felt hollow now, especially with half the chamber filled with beings whose civilizations had been saved by human intervention. High Counselor Vexnar's tendrils rippled with authority as she called for order. "We cannot ignore reality. Earth's contributions to galactic medicine, enhancement protocols, and quantum stabilization have become essential to our society's function. Then perhaps Sarah stepped forward. It's time we stop pretending this is about quarantine at all. The chamber fell silent. Even Administrator Zix's gaseous form stopped swirling in mid-protest. Earth was never truly quarantined. Sarah continued. We were designated as a containment zone because our abilities frightened you. But instead of containing us, you discovered something far more valuable: our ability to heal, enhance, and stabilize galactic civilization. She gestured to the holographic displays showing Earth's medical facilities, training centers, and adaptation complexes. We've moved beyond simple medical tourism. Earth has become the galaxy's premier center for medical innovation, evolutionary enhancement, and adaptive technology development. Telkar's crystalline form sparkled in agreement. The data is undeniable. Civilizations that have embraced Earth's methods show a 300% increase in crisis resilience. The hybrid quantum networks incorporating human biological patterns have proven completely resistant to corruption, which is precisely why they must be contained. Zix protested. Their influence is too significant to be left unchecked. Or perhaps, Vexnar interjected, her tendrils now a thoughtful shade of blue. We've been thinking about this backward. Dr. Chen, you mentioned having a proposal. Sarah activated her quantum projector, displaying a new organizational framework. We propose reclassifying Earth as a specialized treatment and adaptation center. TAC for short. This acknowledges our role while maintaining regulatory oversight. The proposal was comprehensive. Earth would serve as the galaxy's primary medical research and treatment hub, with established protocols for everything from plague treatment to enhancement therapy. The quarantine stations would be repurposed as medical screening centers, legitimizing what they had effectively become anyway. Furthermore, Sarah continued, we propose establishing a new division of the Council, the Department of Medical Innovation and Adaptive Technologies. This would allow for proper regulation of human medical techniques, while ensuring they remain accessible to all species. The chamber erupted in discussion. Even the hardliners found it difficult to argue against formalizing systems that were already deeply integrated into galactic society. An elegant solution, Vexnar observed, rather than maintaining the fiction of quarantine. We acknowledge Earth's role while establishing proper oversight. There's more, Sarah added. We propose creating a galactic medical exchange program. Advanced species can share their medical knowledge with humans, while humans teach our methods of adaptation and resilience. The vote was not unanimous, but it was decisive. Earth's quarantine designation was officially lifted, replaced by its new status as the galaxy's premier medical and adaptation center. In the aftermath of the decision, Sarah stood in her office at the newly renamed Global Adaptation and Medical Excellence Center, formerly her modest clinic. Ambassador Telkar's crystalline form shimmered beside her. Your species has rewritten galactic society's approach to medicine, technology, and evolution itself, Telkar observed. Not bad for a quarantined primitive species. Sarah smiled, watching ships arriving through her window, no longer disguised or sneaking through quarantine protocols, but proudly bearing the emblems of their civilizations. We never saw boundaries as barriers, she replied. To humans, they're just challenges waiting to be transformed into opportunities. The view outside had changed dramatically. Where once there were hidden medical facilities and disguised treatment centers, now stood proud institutions of learning and healing. The Galactic Medical Academy's crystalline spires rose alongside the Evolutionary Enhancement Institute. The Quantum Adaptation Center hummed with the energy of 1,000 species learning Earth's secrets of resilience. You know, Telkar chimed thoughtfully, some council members still can't understand how this happened. How did a quarantine intended to contain humanity lead to humans becoming the galaxy's greatest healers? Sarah watched as a group of medical students, human and alien alike, entered the academy below. Because quarantine or not, humans will always find ways to help others. It's not just what we do, it's who we are. The next generation of galactic medical professionals would learn more than just treatment protocols. They would learn the human art of adaptation, the value of resilience over perfection, and the power of turning restrictions into opportunities. Outside, the sun set on a new era in galactic history. Earth, once feared for its unpredictability, had become the heart of a more resilient, adaptable galactic civilization. The quarantine that was meant to contain humanity had instead unleashed their greatest gift: the ability to heal not just bodies, but entire civilizations. And somewhere in the vast expanse of space, Administrator Zix was probably still filing protests. But now they did so while secretly using human-designed quantum stabilization techniques, like everyone else in the galaxy.